And one interesting transition that is added to PowerPoint from 2019 version and before it existed in Office 365 was Morph Transition. By using this transition, we can do really creative work, whether in making presentation slides or motion graphic. The work that Morph does is that let me create a new blank slide first with the simple shapes. I give an example to you to see how it works. For instance, in the first slide I put a shape here and I duplicate this slide. I have a right click and choose duplicate option, then I change the place of this shape. For example, I put it here in the middle of the slide. Then I duplicate my slide again and change the place of my shape. I pull it to the left part and I change the place of my shape. And you can just duplicate your slide. You cannot create a new slide and go to Insert tab, Shape, and so on. I just duplicate the slides and change the place of my shape in the slides. Here I make the size bigger. Now I select all these slides. I select the last slide, then I hold Shift and select the first slide. In this way, all slides were selected. And from Transition tab, I choose a Morph Transition. Now let's see what happened. Now, as you see, the shape is converting in different slides slowly in this way. The thing that Morph Transition does is to find similarity in previous and next slide and convert them to each other smoothly. Now, when we open the Effect option of Morph Transition, there are other options: characters, words, and objects. Object is used for such shapes like this. Also, we can use Morph Transition for text. See how I do it. From the Insert tab, I create a text box here and type my text. I copy this text and paste it in the next slide and write another text. Well, now, when I choose the Morph Transition in the Effect option, I select Characters. See what happens. Look at the result. Did you see how the Morph Transition works in text? It converted the same letters of the text smoothly and it showed the different letters by fading. In this way, you see it put the same letters in the next slide. This can be very interesting for text. If you do not want to give animation to your text, you can use a Morph Transition in your slides. In motion graphic, these effects can be really interesting. Let me do some other things with Morph Transition. Let's see them together and finally I will explain you that how I made them. This is the first work that I made by Morph Transition. This is done only by Morph Transition. Also, this work. So, how did I make this work? From the beginning, I create a blank slide and from the Insert Shape section, also you can find this triangle from Basic Shapes. I pull it in my slide, it converts the half of my slide. I choose this shape again and copy it. I change the color, then I use the Rotate option, flip horizontal, flip vertical, it became in this way and I put it in its place. Then I zoomed out, then I choose one shape, surely hold the Shift key. I pull this upper triangle to the right out of the slide and I pull the bottom triangle to the left by holding the Shift key. I took them out of my slide. As you see, here is nothing in the slide. I have a right click on the first slide and select Duplicate option and insert these triangles to the slide by by holding the Shift key. Then I selected Morph Transition. It would be enough to activate Morph Transition only for the second slide. Do you see how it worked? In this way, two shapes reached each other only by using Morph Transition. And the next work that I have done with this checkered mode, this is the shape from the PowerPoint. I used them, I filled one of my slides with these shapes and I give them color. Then I select those that had the same colors and put them in a group. Then put them out of the slide. Then I duplicate the slide, and in the next slide I put them next to each other and I gave Morph Transition to the second slide. I convert them to each other, as simple as that.